Hello everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back. Welcome to our Friday project. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to start getting ready for Christmas. And this time we're not, I know we've done a couple of Christmas cards previous, but this time we're not making a Christmas card. What we're going to do, or at least what we're going to try and do, is make a table centre. Now, the reason I laughed when I said that is that this is the first time so far anyway I've attempted this video, but it's taken me about 4 hours just to decide what I'm going to use, how I'm going to use it, how I'm going to stick it, where I'm going to put it. And of course I could change my mind in the middle of the video and it could go hopelessly wrong, but hopefully it won't. So it's difficult to say what size you should make this because it depends on what you're using. So for my centre, I am going to use, and the reason I've already made a bit of a start is because I'll show you what I'm using. This is a pot from a trifle. It meant I had to eat a trifle first. I know, it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. And then what I did was I used a pair of small scissors and pierced a hole through the bottom and fed my lights. This is a pack of battery. This is a string of battery lights. And I fed them through the bottom. And the reason I've done this first is because it's quite a long string of light. And it took me about 5 minutes just to string it. And I'm sure you didn't want to sit there for 5 minutes and watching me do that. So I've already done that. And the other thing I've already done is this. This is the back of our centerpiece. And I've put this is just red holographic paper. It's not particularly Christmassy, but you can use it for anything you like. And you can put pattern paper on if you want to. Ordinary Christmas wrapping paper would be absolutely perfect. So the first thing you need to do, once you've done this and you've prepared it, this is why it depends, the size depends on what you're using. So the first thing you need to do, I've got all my decorations and all my holly and berries and bows and Lord knows what else around me. If you could see the chaos I work in. One day I'm going to do a video and show you what chaos I work in. Because so many people have said to me, oh, your table looks really neat. I thought you should see what the camera's not showing. So one day I'm going to do a behind the scenes, if you like. But for today, we'll just keep it relatively clean and simple. But, well, table-wise anyway. So what we need to do first, we need to anchor our centerpiece and we need to decide where the battery case is going to go. Now, this one's quite a large battery case. And I've got my glue gun. Oh, it looks like it's dribbling quite nicely, so it's heated up. So while I've been setting up and discussing what we're going to do, I've had my glue gun heating up just over there, slightly off camera. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to decide where we're going to put our light bit. And obviously it needs to, well, not obviously. You could put it there and put your bits in the middle. You could put it in the corner. But I'm going to put mine in the middle. So this is where, for the first time anyway, we need our hot glue gun. And you know what? I was trying to working out the logistics of how you're going to do something. Sometimes it's just as tricky as working out what you're going to use. So I think what I'm going to do, if it doesn't slip, I'm going to pick up my plastic bit, my cup, add a few blobs of glue. It's all right, I've got some extra glue sticks, and stick it down before it has a chance to dry, because it doesn't take long. Just hold it into place. But because this is on slippy paper, you've got a bit of time. So hold that into place for just a couple of seconds. Now, oh, that's lovely. And I am going to need another glue stick. So I've got a pot of glue sticks just off camera over there. And in fact, do you know what? I'm going to slip that in now because we're going to need it soon. Now, on the back of here, the next thing you've got to do, or you need to do, is decide where you're going to put your battery case. And that depends on how much lead you've got. Now, I'm going to put mine. Oh, if I push that over a bit for you, then you can see a bit better. I'm going to put mine there. Now, on the back of here, I'm not going to use, if you're sure you want to use this as a permanent feature, to use year after year, that's absolutely fine. But if you think, well, do you know what? I might want to use the batteries again for something else. Now, I've just cut my finger now, so I can't get the packet off. But never mind, we'll get there. There we go, we're done. So if you've decided perhaps you might want to use the lights for something else, don't put a hot glue gun on it, but put it on the back. Don't put it on the lid. Put it on the back, and when you're sure you've decided where you want it to go, you can just stick it down like that. And of course, because it's got that on there, you've got that. You can easily change the batteries whenever you want to. And we are going to cover that up. We'll do that at the end, or towards the end anyway. And we've got our lights sitting in there. Just make sure they still work. They do. Excellent. So, and we'll put that on again at the end. Now, over here, over onto my right, to the right of the camera, I've got some berries, I've got some holly. So if I bring, first of all, I think we'll bring the berries in. I should have 3 groups of each. That was one of the other things I took time doing. Pulling the berries apart, regrouping them or making them smaller groups. And then I decided I did have 2 originally, but then I decided to regroup them and I wanted 3 and I couldn't decide how much holly, but oh well. So the holly, I've got about half a dozen or so sprigs, and that's over on the right. Well, that'll make an appearance soon enough. So I think what we'll do, we'll make a start in decorating this. Not quite sure how it's going to turn out, but we'll see how it goes. And again, I'm going to use my hot glue and just put a string of glue there and press it in. But do mind your fingers, folks, because this is hot, as I found out the other day. And if you're worried about your fingers, I haven't got anything handy, or use the end of a glue stick or something to hold it down. That's not a bad idea. I'll keep that to one side. So that was lucky. I don't always have that handy. So this time I think we'll use a red one. So I've got red and I've got gold. So we'll put that one there. We won't speed this up. I thought of speeding it up, but I thought, well, if we do this in real time, then you can see it building up. Because sometimes that's quite good fun, seeing how something quite plain builds up into something quite pretty. Well, hopefully it'll be pretty. So we'll put that one over there. Right, I'll just put my finger where the glue isn't. Then we'll put some over on the other side. We'll get this done. Then we'll get the holly done. Then I'll show you how we're going to treat the battery case. And obviously we will need to do that in real time. Otherwise, if I speed everything up, you won't see it. So this is where it gets tricky, because I'm going sort of the other side of the camera and I can't quite see what I'm doing. So I could end up sticking something to things I don't want it to, but we'll get there. So that could come in just a tiny bit actually. So just push that in a bit. That's fine. So if some things do stick out a bit, that's all right. It's a Christmas decoration. It's not supposed to be perfect. And of course it's handmade. So it's definitely not supposed to be perfect. And we're just going to pop a bit of glue there. Actually, I am going to use my glue stick to push that down. And hopefully, yep, I have got one more piece of, or one more cluster of berries. So we're going to put that down. And we're just going to pop that down there. Oh, my glue stick's just fallen over, but that's all right. And I'm going to use that to hold that down like that. Put that over there just for a minute. Oh, I can probably use that. I could probably use my fingers. Now, what I'm going to do now is bring in the holly. Now, try and keep it in shot. I've moved my camera a little bit. Well, I've moved my table, which means I've had to move everything else. So I've got some holly. Now, this holly is lovely holly. It was brought with little gold berries in the middle. Now, I got these packs of holly and the berries, and I think I got just about everything from the works. I know, so what else is new? So, again, I'm going to use some hot glue, put a trail of hot glue on there, and I'm going to just press that right in like that. And anything we're going to put that all the way around, and anything like that, I've got some bows, I've got some gold and red bows over there, just off camera slightly. So do you know what? I'm going to push that out a little bit, because as it fills up, you're not going to see it. So we'll just push that out a little bit. And in that big space, so at the moment, we're just filling in spaces. So we've got a big space there. So before that has a chance to dry, we'll slide in some holly. If that dries before we get a chance to stick it down, we will do it again. But no, I think we're okay. If it covers some of the berries, then so be it. We've got another big space over here. So give it another good dollop of glue. And we'll stick that in there. Oh, yeah, definitely watch your fingers. And have we got any other big spaces? Well, there's a biggish space there, so we'll put some more holly there. So as you can see, we're making it up as we go, or I'm making it up as I go along, which I quite often do. I did have a plan, or sort of a plan. I planned it out. I didn't photograph it because I didn't want it to be that definite. I thought, no, I did do a dry run layout, and I thought about photographing it, which some people do, and I do sometimes. But I thought, no, do you know what? Let's just go with it. Let's just see how it goes. And you know what? It's nothing like my original. So we are going to put some glue there and put another bit of holly there and just stick it down there. I have got one more bit of holly, which I could stick in there. Let's do that. Yeah. Well, it's sort of similar to how I originally planned it, but not exactly. But that's all right. Don't want it to be exact. Oops, sorry. I knocked the camera with my glue gun. Sorry about that, folks. I'll try not to do that again. But the trouble is I can't put the stand up any higher because the nut's broken. Someone suggested that I put it up and fix it with tape. I tried that and it didn't hold. It just fell down in the middle of filming one day, which was extremely, well, I thought it was hilarious. But so I won't do that. So hopefully that'll sit in and behave itself. So now what we're going to do, we're going to deal with this battery case. Now, can you see the battery case? You can. I know it's the middle of November at the time of recording, but the sun is pouring through the window. It's absolutely glorious. I'm not complaining, but it just makes it a little bit hard to see what I'm doing. So I have got 3 gold bows, and somewhere, oh, there they are. I've got some green. Let me just take them off of there. I'm going to put them on with hot glue. They're self-adhesive, but I'm going to put them on with hot glue, so it doesn't matter. So they're those little bows that you buy for parcels, but I'm going to use them for decoration. So what we're going to do next, we're going to deal with this battery case. But what we don't want to do, we want to keep it free so that you can still slide it out to change the battery. Unless, of course, this is going to be a one and done, which means that once it's used up, it's used up. But we'll try and keep the battery case free so that it can still open. So we'll just pop a bit of glue there. Doesn't matter if it's not completely covered up, but as long as it's mainly covered up, we'll be all right. So we'll put another blob of glue there. These are just parcel bows, nothing particularly fancy. Well, they're quite fancy, but they're not expensive. I got them in a pack of 6, I think. And if I can persuade that leaf to stay out of the way long enough, we will put just one more there. I'm glad I've got some more glue sticks. I think I'm going to need them. And we're going to pop that one down there before that has a chance to dry. So that's good. So we will still be able to slide that in and out, but I'm not going to do it now because the glue's still drying. So in the middle, we've still got little gaps. So what we're going to do, again, we're going to use a blob of glue. I'm not going to bother taking the sticky stuff off the back because you won't see it. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to grab another glue stick. And I've still got 2 more. We're doing all right. And I'm going to put another one just about there. So we'll pop that on there like that. And now all we've got to do, really, is just fiddle, which is the fun part. So I'm not going to put any more green bows on there. I have got some red sort of glittery bows like that. So whether I'll use some of them, I'm not sure. I'll put 3 or 4 out. And I've got some red velvet bows. So what we'll do, as usual on this channel, we'll wing it. So I'll bring the 3, I've got 3, so we'll definitely use them. We've got glue strings all over the place, but never mind. I'll pull them off when we're done. So I'm going to, again, add a little blob of glue. And these are just parcel bows, but it doesn't matter. And I'm going to put one there. And because we've only got 3, well, I've only got 3 out. I've got some more, but I didn't pick more than 3 out. We'll put one there, on top of the shiny bit. It's quite nice having it decorated, or some paper, because then if there are any bits that don't quite get any decoration, they still look pretty. And I think I've just put that one on upside down, but never mind. And we'll put one over there. And that's the bit I can't get to very well because of where the camera is. But that's okay. We're going to carry on anyway. So put that one down there. Now this glue, although it's hot glue, some people seem to think it dries instantly. It doesn't, because you've still got sticky bits, and so it does take a little while. It doesn't take long, but it does take a while. So what we're going to do, I think we're just going to add a bit of shine. Now this time, I'm going to be really brave and put the glue on the back of here like that, instead of putting it on the actual decoration. So I'm going to stick one there. I don't think we'll put too many more on, because you can overdo it. Unless, of course, you want to overdo it, then it's your decoration. You can put as much or as little on as you like, but I'll put a couple more on just to brighten it up a bit. And I think we're nearly done. And I was going to say how we're doing for time, but I can't see the timer. We'll put one there. I've got one more left. Where shall I put that? I think we will use that last one. I'll tell you where I'll put it. Pop a bit of glue on, and we'll put it on the top of that bow, because there's a bit of yucky glue that I wasn't quite happy with. Now I'm just going to stand up and have a look around it. Yeah, I think that's enough. So if we turn that on, so you've got a beautiful, I wish I was doing this at night because it would look better. We've got the sun pouring through the window. But if you want to play with that once it's all secure and push it down or whatever, but that looks quite good actually. Now if I can pick that up, I wanted to turn it so that you could see it from the side, but I think it's going to go out of focus. But let's try doing it this way. Oh, it won't go down any further. Okay, I was going to try zooming it out a bit, but it won't go any further. But if I turn it up, you can see it shining through there, but I'll leave it like that. So there we go, guys. There is our table decoration, all ready for Christmas. Now, if you haven't got lights, or you don't want to use lights, you can use a candle. I didn't have a candle. I thought a tea light candle would be too big. Of course, you can cut it down if you want to. But if you're going to use candles, just for safety, I know you know this, but rules say health and safety rules say that we have to explain it. Don't use a real candle. Use a battery-operated candle, especially if you've got children around. Now, I know you all know this, but as I say, health and safety rules say that we have to explain that. So there we go, guys. There is our table decoration, all ready for Christmas. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to our new subscribers. Thank you to our long-time subscribers. Now, I went to say this on the last video and I forgot, so I'll say it now in case I forget again. I know we've got a couple, or 2 or 3 anyway, other YouTubers amongst us who like to do their own crafting. So a special welcome to you, but welcome to everybody. Now, if you are a YouTuber, especially if you're a crafting YouTuber, just say hello if you could please say hello in the comments if you'd like to. You don't have to, but then we can come along and support you. We can come along and subscribe to you. So, and incidentally, if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you've enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the all button, and then you won't miss a video. You'll see all the new videos that come up, and please do click the like button. And if you're a YouTuber, especially, as I say, especially a crafty YouTuber, please do say hello in the comments, and we'll come along and follow you and subscribe to you, and we'll all support each other. So if you see any others in the comments that are other, you'll know because it won't be their names. It'll be things like, for example, to use my own First Light Crafts. And I know there's another little one, a new YouTuber, Little Rabbit Designs. She's absolutely amazing. So go and see what she's up to. Sometimes we see Simone here from Blonde Cards and Crafts. She's another amazing crafter. So if you see any others, please do go and say hello to them and subscribe to their channels. And then we can all support each other and have a wonderful crafting community. Now, this won't be the last one before Christmas, but I hope you've enjoyed this one. So until next time, stay safe, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.